Trudy Mason sitting in for Aaron again this week, speaking to an old pal, Dr. Joe Schwarcz. Of course, you know him of the Dr. Joe Show, Sundays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on CJAD 800. Also, the director of the McGill Law for Science and Society. And, as we were just discussing off air, an old-timer here at CJAD. How many years, Dr. Joe, do you have at the station?
It's 45. Yeah, it started in 1980. And it's been a really long and fun ride on CJD. I mean, I've worked with, I think, about 35 people over the years on CJD, so I've met a lot of very interesting people, had a lot of fun conversations. It's been very interesting.
Yeah, ditto. For 40 years, though, I'm way behind you. You have 5 years on me.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, you know. I mean, it seems really like it was yesterday. Like the time has just flown by, and I mean, I really don't feel any older than I felt when I was in the 20s, you know.
No, me neither. I'm still 29 in my head.
Yeah,
and still a rookie too in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
rookie
until
broadcaster.
I start feeling my knees on the treadmill.
Well,
that's a clue.
Yeah, I think. A little reminder. And back in the day, of course, when you started, there was no such thing as TikTok, but now there is TikTok, and TikTok is full of life hacks.
Yeah, boy, things were really different. You remember how when we were wanting to tape something and then replay it, we would actually have the tape that would cut and scotch tape together.
Yeah, a 1/4-inch tape, reel to reel.
Yeah. Anyway, so much easier now. But TikTok, yeah. I mean, I get asked about TikTok all the time. I must say I don't go on TikTok a lot, but no day goes by where I don't get a call or an email asking is this true that I saw on TikTok? The answer almost always is no. But, I mean, there are some interesting things there. This past week, the question that I got asked was about Sharpies being used as cosmetics. Have you heard that one?
No, they're permanent, though. Why would you want to do that?
They're using it as lip liner, you know, put on lipstick and then outline it with the Sharpie. Some people are even using it to paint in eyebrows after plucking them. It's not something that should be encouraged. First of all, these are not approved items for cosmetics. You know, no one has ever checked them for toxicity. And the truth is that we don't really know. I mean, the solvents used these days are no longer xylene and hexane, which were the original ones in Sharpies. They mostly use alcohol as a solvent. But the dyes that are used, nobody knows, you know, exactly what they use. They don't have to list it on the ingredients. And when you look at the material safety data sheet for the Sharpies, it's quite unrevealing because they don't tell you exactly which dyes use. But obviously, this is not something that should be used around the eyes or on the lips. I mean, I can't say that we know that there's any danger there, but you don't use stuff that hasn't been tested for this. So I would give this one a thumbs down. I would not use a Sharpie on my face. But I'll tell you another one that someone asked me about, which I will give a thumbs up to. And it's how you remove the egg yolk from an egg. You know, for some reason, people want to use only egg whites in an omelet or whatever, so you want to remove the yolk. And it's not that easy to do unless this trick, which I saw on TikTok, and it actually does work. So you take an empty water bottle, you know, like the empty, you know, 250 or whatever milliliter water bottle, soft drink bottle is, and you squeeze it. And then you place the neck on top of the egg. That you open up an egg and you put it, you know, you just dump it into the plate, the yolk surrounded by the white. And then you just put the open end of the squeezed water bottle on top of the egg yolk. Let go of your hand. That, of course, produces a vacuum, and the yolk is sucked up into the bottle. clear of any white. And then you can, of course, just squeeze again and expel the yolk. And I've tried it, and it really does work.
Oh, well, that's reassuring.
Yeah, so, there are some things that you see on TikTok that actually works. Another one that's interesting is cereal gets soggy when you put milk. And a lot of people don't like that. They would like to have the cereal stay crisp. And one way to do this is to put an ice cube at the bottom of the cereal bowl before you put in the cereal and before you dump in the milk. Because it turns out that the cold temperature keeps the cereal crispy. Again, I wouldn't have thought that this is true, so I did try it, and it is true. And one maybe even better way to do that, if you don't want the milk diluted with water, is that you can put milk in your ice cube tray and freeze that and put a chunk of the frozen milk in with the cereal and then pour in a little room temperature milk. And you'll have a cereal that stays crispy.
Oh.
So all kinds of stuff you can learn from TikTok, but most of the stuff that you learn there isn't as reliable as this. There's one other one that I came across that somebody asked about. When you have strawberry and you have the green stuff on top, right? I don't know.
The little cap, the little kind of leafy cap.
Yeah, which of course you don't eat. You want to get rid of it, right? And obviously you can cut it off with a knife, but then you're wasting some of the strawberry. So there's this trick that I saw, which again actually works, although you have to play around a little bit, is to take a straw and push it in from the opposite end of the strawberry so that it comes out where the cap is located. And you push, and that cap comes right off of the strawberry. Now, I said, though, that you have to practice this a little bit because I've ruined a few strawberries where the straw came out beside the cap, right? But once you get the hang of it, you can actually get rid of that and maintain the strawberry as a whole and just pop it in your mouth. And these days, you can pop the Quebec strawberries in your mouth because they are indeed delicious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, much but better than those grotesque strawberries that we get in winter, which are giant but have no taste, right?
Don't you end up though with a straw full of strawberry core?
Actually, no. I mean, there is some, but I've never noticed that it changes anything. I mean, it's too little to really affect the taste of the strawberry. So no, I've been happy with that, and you would lose less of the strawberry than by cutting off the cap, I think.
All right, helpful hints from Dr. Joe. No
Anyway.
Sharpie on the face, but
No Sharpie on the face. No Sharpie on the face. And I mean, I wouldn't even use a Sharpie to draw on the hand, which some people do. They take notes by using Sharpies or ink on their hand when they don't have any paper available. So no, I'm not a fan of that either. I like to write on paper, not on my hand.
Dr. Joe, always a delight to speak to you.
Thanks, Trudy.
Dr. Joe Schwarcz, and you can hear him, of course, on CJAD Sundays at 3 p.m.